Hello and welcome back to an absolutely gorgeous day in the woods. The sun is rising, the skies are blue, and I kind of do wish I was out in it today. I feel like I kind of get stuck up here in the woods where I just never leave. But we've had some updates with the bathroom, and I have been using the bath and shower now for about a week. There's a couple of things I need to address before we actually get started with what I'm doing today. First things first, shower works great and it's really, really nice. The kids thoroughly enjoyed their first bath time as well. I'm so glad we managed to get it all sorted perfectly in time. I've also been keeping the window open whenever we use it, so I'll close that now because apparently if you leave it open for too long and it makes it cold in here, it's bad or something. The second thing to let you guys know about is the plastic runner that is actually installed at the bottom of the glass panel there. I just didn't film me installing it. However, I think if you can kind of see in there, it's like bent or broken. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I haven't fully installed it properly, or I need to cut out the curvature of the door. I don't really know. Or it just needs some more sealant around it. Ultimately, it is leaking. So when we have a shower, the water obviously comes down the panel and it pools in this corner here, and it is coming underneath in this little slot. You can actually see that it's still a little bit wet there, but it comes through here, pulls here, and then just drips literally like that, hence why the towel is there. It isn't like a major issue and it's something really easily fixed. So I have tried turning the runner the other way around to see if I installed it the wrong way, but no matter which way you put it, it just leaks there. So maybe it just needs a bit more silicone or something like that. I don't know if it's something that I need to sort out. But otherwise, yeah, shower works absolutely fantastic. The next thing has to actually do with the toilet, as I went to see my nan and she's been bugging me about what's going on with this situation. A fair few vlogs ago, I mentioned that the flush pipe, the top one there, is actually too low for the toilet to go into. And I never really addressed what I was going to do about that. Because it was like crunch time. I had to get the bath and the shower and everything all set up so we could use it. And the same day the caravan went was the same day we finished it. So I just about got that on time. But today's plan is to lay the floor. And when I lay the floor, obviously the finished floor level is going to go up, and that flush pipe will be even lower than it should be because I'm going to put the toilet on top of the finished floor. To fix it, I am quite literally going to take my multi-tool and cut a square here so the pipe can move up. Now, if there's not enough give on the pipe for where the toilet ends up, I can always use this access here, take it out and then replumb it all, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. I did cater for a finished floor when I did that. But what I didn't know is that to tile the floor, I actually need to put down aqua panel or backup cement board. I can't tile straight onto the chipboard. So that is what we're going to do today. I'm going to take up this combination of dust sheet, big bath mats and stuff like that, take all this out, sweep the floor, make sure it's all dust free, and we are going to fit aqua panel to the floor. Now, the adhesive that you use to fit it to the floor takes 8 hours before it sets and it's walkable again. And I am using this stuff, super flexible adhesive gray. It's actually an S1 adhesive, which in layman's terms means that it's more thermally resistant, so any heat won't get lost through the floor. Just to very quickly clarify on that, S1 tile adhesive, the classification, it doesn't actually mean anything to do with thermal resistance. It's all to do with the flexibility of the tile adhesive. Now, obviously, because I'm laying flooring down, it's important that there is a bit of flexibility in the adhesive, as the floorboards might swell or move and so on and so forth. So S1 classification is actually to do with the flexibility of the tile adhesive. It's got nothing to do with thermal resistance. Now, that is important because of this comment right here. I didn't know or realize that you could get underfloor heating at a relatively decent price. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to lay the aqua panel down and get the floor all ready to be tiled. And then if I can find the funds to do so, we are going to basically put down underfloor heating on top of that, self-level it, to protect all the cables, or all the wiring and stuff like that. and then tile on top of that. So the floor is going to get quite thick, potentially. So yeah, it's a bit of a process, but I needed to have specific adhesive for the aqua panel. Aqua panel needs to go down because I can't tile onto the chipboard. Then the heat mats they're essentially they look like this. It should be relatively simple to install. He says, touch wood. We'll see how that goes. And then tile. Now it's the thermostat supposedly that costs a bit more money, and the wiring and so on. And I've never done it before. So worst case scenario, I do it all, and the underfloor heating never works, and I've just done it for the sake of doing it. But I feel like I've made so much effort with the bathroom already, I might as well take that extra step just to get the floor, do it like that, get the underfloor heating in, because it'll make such a difference. It'll make it so nice. I really wanted underfloor heating downstairs, and this will be a good test to see how it all works. However, before we touch the floor, the final update I have for you actually has to do with the ceiling. Or more importantly, the lights in the ceiling. Now, in between vlogs, I didn't really see the point in filming it. It's just I had a bit of an off day, so I was like, oh, I'll rewire it. So the entire lighting for upstairs has been rewired. Every single bedroom has got new quick wire lighting in with the modern cabling and so on and so forth. All of the cables are laid. The only thing I have not rewired is the light switches, because I ran out of cable. And the light switches are basically going to come from the floor. So all of the cabling will run on the floor and they'll come up. So I'll chase in the wall, they'll come up to the sockets, rather than in here, you can kind of see it's got this conduit that's protruding from the wall, and then it kind of stops where the roof starts, and that's how it's wired. I'm going to do away with that, and I'm going to chase it into the wall. Now all the switches are going to move anyway, because the doors are going to swing this way. So that switch won't be there. It will actually be behind where the door is currently. The light switch for the bathroom got relocated from here to here, because that door is going to swing that way, and it makes sense to have the light switch there. And not that you would have noticed, but when I did a bit of a rewire and fixed a lot of the dead cables in the floor, I disconnected the light switch. So we have the landing, or the stairwell, has two-way lighting. So there's a switch here and there's a switch down there. Now the switch downstairs hasn't been working since I did that. So I have rewired that all in as well. Actually, you can probably see it better down here. I took some panels off, and you can actually see the wire comes down here and goes to that light switch. And I've changed the light fitting in the landing, so you can actually see a lot better on the stairwell now, which is nice. So yeah, that is the last kind of update when it comes to things that I've done between videos and where things are at now since I last posted a video about the bathroom. I now have almost everything I need to finish the bathroom. I have got the oak shelves ready to be cut up and made for the windowsill and my built-in shelving. I've also got the aqua panel, the tiles and adhesive up at the garage for the floor, and I have got the towel rad that is going on here. I've got the sink, I've got the toilet. I've basically got everything. The only thing I'm missing now is I haven't ordered the underfloor heating yet, which is a bit of a problem, obviously. I haven't got the custom mirrors for the shelving, because it's going to have to be a bespoke order, and I'm going to find a supplier to do that for me. And I haven't got the door and the door lining yet. So at the moment, the bathroom has no door, which, because it's just the four of us, doesn't matter. We don't really care. So yeah, and to be fair, it doesn't actually make a difference. From a heating perspective, it still actually feels quite warm and cozy in here when you have a shower. So you don't get out and shivering and stuff like that. It's not stupidly cold. That being said, obviously when you open the window, it does get colder in here. But yeah. Oh, and Jess glazed the windows or frosted the windows, so you can't see out or see in anymore, which is also nice. So that covers all updates. I imagine this vlog, I know people hate it when I rabbit on, but there's so much has changed since the last vlog. I need to kind of keep you guys updated, and I suspect me laying this floor is gonna be rather short content, because all I'm doing is put adhesive on the floor and putting panels down, and then I have to wait 8 hours for it to dry, and I can't go in there whilst it's dry, because it's not walkable. But with all of that in mind, let's get this emptied and hoovered up. Much better. Now, the first thing I need to do before I start just putting the heater down and laying the floor is I need to find where my bath panel is going to finish on the floor. Because ideally, I want the tiles and the finished floor to kind of go underneath the bath panel, so the bath panel comes down to the tile, because it'll just, generally speaking, look nicer. So as I don't have a level big enough, I've just got a straight piece of wood there, and then I'll find the level point from the bath panel down to the floor and draw a mark. Super easy, job done. I've got a black line now that goes all the way across the front of the bath, so I know where my bath panel is going to finish. The next thing I need to do is nail and screw in my existing chip wood floor. As you may have seen in a previous vlog, I actually done this already underneath the bath, so I don't have to worry about trying to get under there to do that. So far the nails and screws kind of come up to where the blue is. Another point as well, I don't actually need to tank the whole bathroom floor just because of the fact that I'm putting adhesive and cement board down and stuff like that, so it's kind of just a waste of product. There's no real reason to do that, so yeah. I'm kind of glad that I stopped where I did, but yeah, I need to go around with my nail gun and screws and just screw in the rest of this board. All done, but I think I may have got dangerously close to a pipe with this particular screw. I did draw out on the floor where the pipes run, but where the sink is, it gets a little bit funky. So in my head, I know, because I did it, that this pipe goes straight down in a vertical line. So I shouldn't have hit it. But when you look from underneath, it looks dangerously close. It's kind of hard to film it, but you can kind of see there, that's the screw. Now I do remember that when I chased all of that out, there was already a fair bit of timber missing from the joist anyway. So I'm kind of hoping it's just, that's what you can see and it's not penetrated the pipe. As I've looked at the best I can and I can't see any leaks or anything like that, so fingers crossed. I so wish when I fitted this floor that I'd actually drawn out exactly where all the pipes ran, but it is what it is. Now that is done, we can actually start laying down our aqua panel. But before I start mixing with adhesive and doing stuff, I'm essentially going to dry lay it because I think it's going to be quite hard to do it on the go, given that I won't have floor space to measure things out properly. And it's recommended that you leave a 3mm space between the board and the wall and board. So I've got some packers out and it'll allow me to essentially pre-cut my panel before I actually have to lay it. Which makes things so much easier. I can actually put 3mm packers on one side, 6mm packers on this side, and then it'll make sure I've got 3mm against this wall, 3mm in the middle, and all I have to do is draw on top of this aqua panel where they meet. So I know on this panel I need to cut it right here. And by some miracle, because the board's obviously sitting underneath the panel, it actually leaves exactly a 900mm gap here for me to lay a panel this way. Which means the panel coming here doesn't need to change at all. All I need to do is cut out the holes for both of the pipes. Which can be done incredibly easily and accurately without having to use a tape measure by just putting the board against the wall, obviously packing it at the bottom there, lining up my pipe and then just drawing on the board. Then I can just lay the board down, cut a hole, and I know it's going to be exactly where I need it to be. Cutting these boards is exactly the same as we did for the walls. We just score a line and snap them. The only difference with these panels versus the other ones is that these are actually 6mm, so they're like half the thickness as the ones that are going on the wall, or the ones that went on the wall. Give it a couple of scores. Now we should be able to stand this board up, give it a little knee, snap it, and then we can cut the board from the bottom up, like so. And we've got one of our panels ready to go. For the holes, I'm just going to take the marks I've made, draw those lines out. Further. I know that this is where I want the hole to be, so I'm going to eyeball this, line it up around there. Boosh! Hole sorted. Do the same for the other one. All marked out, and again, I am literally just eyeballing this. A little bit more difficult when I haven't got timber there. The last thing to do is, now that I've got those holes all drilled out, is to dry lay that again, just to double check that it fits over both pipes. To be perfectly honest, it'll probably give me a good idea of how easy and or hard it's going to be for me to wet the sheet in when there's adhesive on the floor. Right, so full sheet. I'm going to take the video. And yeah, this is going to be very hard to do. Doesn't help that I've got loads of obstacles in the way right now. I'm going to have to attempt to lay this down without it touching the floor. It's not easy to do. Right. Okay, well it fits pretty much spot on. Yeah, the holes match up there. And the holes match up there. Right. That's going to be very hard to do when there's adhesive all over the floor. I won't lie. And I don't think there's an alternative way of doing that, I'm not sure. So I won't have to stand here. Maybe I do this board, then this one, then the one here. So I can at least stand here. I don't know. We'll figure it out, I'm sure. Might just be a messy job, as always. After further review, I think it actually makes more sense to lay the small one here first, because I can stand here, then stand here, lay this panel, and then after this panel's in, lay this one. No, I can't. I've got to work my way out the room. This is hurting my brain. Let's just wing it and see how it goes. Right, let's get some tile adhesive. Actually, I think to allow me to concentrate, I'm going to put you on a tripod and we're just going to time-lapse this. That way I can listen to music, zone out, swear and shout, and you won't even notice. The floor will have just been laid. That went a little smoother than I actually anticipated. Granted, this last section here by the door was a little bit of a faff. I had to get my multi-tool out to cut it down to size. But otherwise, the floor is all done. I mean, I can stand on it. It's not really doing anything. So yeah, floor's all down. It's got jointing tape on, which you wouldn't have seen during the time lapse because I did it after the fact. But I basically put jointing tape on any of the joins. Where the boards meet each other. Now it does say it's not walkable for another 8 hours, but that applies also to like laying tile on top of it, so I can't actually lay anything on it. It's also quite late now because it's been a day filled with visitors. Like Jess's parents, or Jess's mum and brother came down for Lilia's birthday, as well as my aunt and uncle who I've not seen in forever, so it was really nice to see them as well. Get some words of encouragement as well as a bit of advice, because my uncle said it'd be a really good idea to utilize this space here because it's just dead space, and normally in a house you would have like a sloped bit here and I could kind of make this area into a cupboard, but I'm not sure just yet because I kind of like how open the stairwell is, but it's another storage solution I was saying. Anyways, I digress. I'm not entirely sure how necessary the jointing tape is, but it does say on the back of all aqua panel stuff that anytime a board meets another board, you should add jointing tape. So I've just done that, belts and braces, all that good stuff. As I mentioned, the floor actually went down very easily. It's a 6mm notch trowel for this kind of floor. So I don't know if it's because it's similar to the board. The board is 6mm thick. So we use 6mm adhesive, like that's what the notches are for. But you don't have to back butter because the boards are so big and stuff. It's just very easy to do. I honestly think laying a floor is easier than doing a wall. I don't know, just in my experience, it's been easier for me to do a floor than a wall. So yeah, all the same, boards are down. What I've done is I've stopped in the doorway, essentially where the door will go. So say if that's the thickness of the door, It's down there. I'll go closer. So if that's the thickness of the door there, I've stopped the board halfway in the middle of the door. That way, the threshold would be covered by the door. So when the room transitions from tile to like carpet or wooden floor, whatever we decide to have up here, probably carpet. When it goes from tile to carpet, the threshold is in the middle of the door, so you'll never see it. So when you close the door, you don't see tiles poking through, and then vice versa, when you're in the bathroom, you wouldn't see carpet. So that's why I've stopped where I've stopped. I'm 99% positive that the door is going to swing on this side because it's swinging inwards to there. It'd be different if it was swinging out, and I'd bring the tiles further into into the corridor, I guess. But that's why I've stopped the aqua panel there. I calculate that pretty much spot on. I've got 2 little extra bits of aqua panel there left over from doing the floor. So well purchased. I definitely think I've got too much like tile adhesive. I guess you can never have too much. It's better to have too much than too little. I can always send one bag back. But I barely used a full bag to do that whole floor, which makes me think that I'm not going to use that much when it comes to tiling it either. Maybe a bag and a half, because I'm going to back butter the tiles because they're large format tiles. But yeah, job successful. There isn't much more to say for today, to be honest. I would pair this with another vlog, but I kind of fear that with how my days lay out at the moment, I wouldn't have time to film anything extra. But what I will say is that we did go out for Lilia's first birthday. I didn't film the day out because in my mind, it's nice to be present. And whilst I get torn really between these things, because on one hand, it's nice to film things to capture the memories and remember stuff. And I did film some bits, which I'll show on the screen now. And she had an absolute blast being out, but I kind of wanted to give her 100% of me, if that makes sense. And when I'm filming, you don't get 100% of me because I'm trying to think about what the next clip should be, or where I am at the vlog, or how long the vlog is, and all of the above. Like, I'm thinking too much about filming and I'm not thinking about who I'm with or what I'm doing, which is why oftentimes, like, especially like when I go out with friends, for example, I never film those days out because I'm too busy. Like, I say too busy, like I'm prioritizing the people right in front of me, and it goes to the same is to be said for Lilia's birthday. As nice as it would have been to film it all, and I know so many family members would have loved to see it. Yeah, I had a day where I gave her all of my attention. Maybe as she gets older and stuff like that, and I don't need to be giving her all of my attention, then potentially I'll start filming some stuff more of her birthdays, kind of like we did with Benji with his birthdays. But at the moment, she's very clingy and she wants to be attached to you all the time. So yeah, me trying to film and focus on the vlog didn't seem fair on her for her birthday. But yeah, she had a really lovely birthday. She got lots of gifts and toys that she's actually really enjoying playing with, which is so nice, because since she's been born, she hasn't really had any toys, especially because we've moved houses and stuff like that. A lot of stuff has been put in storage and we just haven't got it back out. So it's nice to have got her some new toys where she actively plays, and she's like got little toys that she likes playing with and doing little things, and she's learned how to throw, so she plays fetch with you now, which is kind of cute. But yeah, thank you very much for all of the birthday wishes for Lilia. She did have a wonderful birthday. I'm sorry I didn't share it with you. There will be some like days out vlogs, like family type vlogs coming up soon. I just want to kind of get back on top of myself, and to be perfectly transparent, posting twice a week has a significant difference on my stress levels. I don't know what it is. It might be the fact that it's just a slightly lighter load. But when I post 2 vlogs a week, it means that when I'm not feeling 100% myself, I don't have to push myself to do something that I don't necessarily want to be doing on that day. I can kind of take a little bit of a break and like spend time with my family, or literally just do nothing for a day, which is quite nice. So 2 vlogs a week gives me that leeway, whereas 4 a week doesn't really. It kind of pushes me. That's as much as I can possibly do. I can't do much more than that. And now I know I can feel Jess's nan. She's like sitting on my shoulder. Gail, she's yapping at the TV, telling me to shut up and stop talking so much. Because but yeah, Jess has started posting her vlogs. you can go subscribe here or search for @Jess_Whittle on YouTube. The plan is for her to post every Friday at 6 p.m. So you'll get one from me on Wednesday, one from Jess on Friday, and one from me on Sunday. So it's like a nice paced out or spaced out couple of vlogs for you. And in the future, to be fair, if I do go up to 4 days and I do Monday to Thursday, Jess on the Friday, that you get us Monday to Friday, which is a lot of content. But yeah, just a little shout out for Jess. If you want to go check out her vlogs, I would appreciate it. She's new to vlogging, she's trying it all. But anyways, on that note, I am going to stop yapping. To the joy of Jess, I'll stop yapping there. I know today hasn't been so much me doing a lot. It's been a lot of just catching up with you guys, touching base on updates and kind of waiting on stuff. I had to wait for the delivery for certain stuff to come before I could do this. Then we had a lot of visitors because it's been Lilia's birthday and so on. So I just haven't had as much time as a usual vlog. But in the next video, I'm thinking we should just tile the whole floor. So the bathroom floor will be completely tiled. And if I've got the time to, which I think I should do, I should be able to tile and grout the floor. So by the end of the next vlog, the whole floor in the bathroom will be finished, which means we can move on to fitting the furniture, i.e. the toilet, the sink and the towel radiator, and the bathroom will be very close to being finished. After that, it's just a case of doing the shelving, getting the door sorted and the extractor at some point. I'm kind of hoping that James the plumber will come and help me with that. He's offered to lend me his tool. I don't know if that means lending me his services as well. I don't want to push my luck. To be fair, it's just drilling a hole for a wall, so I don't really necessarily need him. It'd be nice to catch up with him anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you want to be a member or just go to Patreon to get vlogs early, you can scan one of these QR codes on screen right now. But I'm gonna stop talking, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace, much love, bye bye. Just a quick clarification on that one. The S1 just a quick clarification on that one. The S1 job done. Got a line that runs all the way across the bath panel now, so I know now that we have got the subfloor all fitted in. Now that is done, we can actually start laying the. Now that that's actually done, we can actually start. I'm still umming and ahhing about which way the best way to lay this floor is, but I'm just gonna go for it, I think.